everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Wanda Molzak, and today I'm coming to you guys with a very exciting video. I say that every time, but hopefully this is exciting, this is fun for you. So I'm coming to you guys with my 20-week update video, so that means that we are now more than halfway through, and if you guys have been watching since, at least week, I think week 10, week 8 is when I started posting videos about all of this. So you guys have came with me on this journey, so now we are more than halfway through until we meet the boys. So thank you guys for rocking with me. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, let me know what you think about the videos. Also turn on post notifications so that you can be like one of the subscribers that gets an alert. But yeah, so we're gonna move right into the video, and I'm just gonna tell you guys some things that have been going on with me. So today is technically week 21, however, I'm saying week 20 because it's the beginning of week 21, so, you know. I had a doctor's appointment, I've had my anatomy scan, I've done all of that, so I'm just going to kind of be getting into that. I know I updated you guys up to week 16, so after week 16, I actually finally stopped throwing up, which was really good, and I've been able to eat a little bit more. However, my stomach feels like it's just like closed shut, so I feel like I don't eat as much, but I eat like smaller portions, which is what they suggest anyways. But I haven't been nauseous. I've had a lot more energy. I've been cooking, guys. I've been cleaning. I've been just like getting out there. The only thing, I don't know if I told you guys this. I may have told you this, but if not, I'm going to repeat myself. Or if I have, sorry. So basically, we went to go and get our registry done. So let me know if you guys want to see our registry vlog and know all the details about that. If you're curious, we went to Bye Bye Baby. So if you guys are, if you are wanting to look at our registry now, you can go ahead and look at it. Just search my name. I'm probably the only Wanda Molzak in the world, so you'll find us. And they're really cool. We did a registry. I can give you guys the vlog and give you all the details on that. If you guys want that, let me know in the comments. But in the meantime, we had went to do our registry, and so that day, for some reason, guys, like I talked about this in my last video a little bit, but I just joked about it. But here's the serious thing that happened. So we were at Bye Bye Baby, and it was like their first like entry registry situation is like an hour, no, actually it was like 2.5 hours, really. It was like a long experience. So midway, probably, my husband says it was like 5 minutes in, but I think it was like more like 15-20 minutes in. I started just like getting severe back pain, and like I felt like I was overheating. Like I was telling him, like feel my forehead. Like I just feel like I'm just so hot. But I felt like I was just like overheating, and someone said drink water, but I was drinking water during that, but maybe I may have been underwater, I don't know. But I asked the lady, can she bring me a stool, and it just didn't make sense. So she actually ended up just bringing me a wheelchair to wheel me around the whole store. And it was pretty funny because it was like, sis, you're not even, like that big, but I just couldn't help it. Like I had no energy. And it was funny because like an hour in, my husband was like, he's like, are you done? Are you good now? Like you're good, you can walk now? And I was just like, I got mad at him because I was like, no, I can't walk now. Like what? So the heat, because it is the summer in California, guys, so it's been like 100 degrees. The heat has been taking me out completely. After that, we ended up like trying to get some food, but like literally when I get hungry, guys, like I get hungry, and again, it feels like I'm about to pass out and die. Like not even I am exaggerating, okay? I'm exaggerating just to add flavor to the story. But in all actuality, like, okay, it gets tough, it gets real, but those are like funny stories, whatever. So I've been having a lot more back pain, I would say. Like right now, sitting, I don't have back pain. Laying, I don't have back pain, but I'm having to do like a lot more massages. And so here is the reason why that I came to the conclusion. So I'm going to tell you guys another story too. This is going to be like story time, because, we're here. So grab a snack, whatever. But at my anatomy scan, one of the things I found out, because the babies were actually kicking, and she did the anatomy scan on 19 weeks, so the babies were actually kicking, and while they were kicking, she was like, oh, do you feel that? And I was like, oh, no, I don't feel that. And she was like, oh, it's probably because your placenta is anterior. So I was like, oh, what's that, you know? Like, I know interiors, but what's anterior? And I was slow. I had a little slow moment. But come to find out, my placenta is actually on the outside of my stomach, which means that when the babies kick, it's sort of just like a cushion. So their legs are just like kicking against my their legs are just like kicking against my placenta, but I don't really feel them. I didn't really feel them at the time, so they had to like get stronger for me to actually feel their kicks or whatever. So that was very interesting. So after I went home, I was like on Google, and we all do this, hopefully. I mean, I do this a lot, which people tell me I shouldn't do it, but I do it anyways. And I get on Google, and one thing they were saying is like the placenta being in the front, it pushes the baby towards more so like your back. So that's why you could have like a lot of lower back pain, etc. So I'm looking into like getting a good back support situation. So if you guys have any suggestions on that, just like let me know in the comments. Let me know if you've ever used any sort of back situation, if you guys have any hacks on that. I do sleep with a pregnancy pillow. My husband, he tries to do like massages and things like that. But when I walk for like 10 minutes, I have to sit down, which brings me to my next point. So at the anatomy scan, first of all, I didn't really like the way that her vibe was. Like, I don't know, it could be me, it could just be me, but at the anatomy scan, like, we were there, and when I was laying down, like, sis was like not even showing me the baby. Mind you, it had been since like, what, 16 weeks or something since I had seen them or heard them or anything. So she had the screen like facing the other way, right? And I wasn't even able to like see them, see are they doing good, anything, guys. So I was like worried. I'm like, is everything okay? I'll show you in a minute. I'll show you in a minute. I'm like, you gonna show me in a minute? So literally I'm like sitting there praying, like, please don't let me go off on this lady. Please don't let me go off on this lady, because I just could not believe it. Like, show me my babies are moving around or whatever. So it really wasn't until like a whole hour later till I actually, I figured out, like, once she was doing all these, like, you know, she didn't say anything. I was like, oh, okay, so baby A is doing fine. Baby A is doing fine. Then, like, an hour later, I had to find out that baby B was also doing fine, which baby B is, like, the one on the top. And baby B, people call him the trouble child. I just think he's just very energetic, okay? Don't be calling my kid the trouble child, okay? First of all. But, you know, they always say he's so complicated, he's so hard, because he don't never cooperate with them. And that means that he's a leader, and he has a mind of his own, okay? But, you know, she was, like, saying that or whatever, so he's, like, moving, so it's hard for her to get a lot of pictures and all that. But when I'm like getting up, so I told you guys I was having lots of stretch marks. I'm still getting stretch marks. Like, the belly is blasted with stretch marks, okay? It is what it is. Like, it's over for a flat, not a flat stomach, but like a clear stomach. I feel like I'll have stretch marks forever, which is cool. My mom had them, sister had them. They still baddies, so we're good. We're good. But yeah, so I still lotion, I still oil and all that. They still come. So I don't know. I think that was a myth about the lotion and oil thing, because I've been doing that since week 6. So the lady is not my doctor, never met her. She's just like an ultrasound person or whatever. So as she's like, so I don't know if you guys ever been to an ultrasound appointment, but when they do your ultrasound on your stomach, they like put this tissue like in your pants, like so to lower, so that basically none of the like gel gets on your gets on your pants or whatever. So once she's like pulling out the tissue and wiping my stomach off after it's all over, she's like, oh, you got stretch marks? Because she did have an accent. So you got stretch mark? Oh no, she said you use oil. So I thought she was like giving me a compliment, like, oh, you've been using oil, like you. And I was like, yeah, you see me, sis, like, yeah, girl. And she was like, because you got lots of stretch marks. And so I was like, wait, huh? Like, I didn't know what she was saying, guys. And then like, because she has such a thick accent, it took me like 5 seconds to like grasp what she is saying. And I was like, oh yeah, I was like, yeah, I've been oiling since week 6. And it's something I just can't help them. They've just been there. Oh yeah, you got a long way to go too. Oh. And like literally I was like, man, these people are really crazy. I've been having some weird people interact with me, guys. So she basically tried to play me. Luckily, I could care less at this point about stretch marks, but it was still funny. Also, the babies were measuring a week and a half in like further along. So I was 19 weeks. They're already measuring like 20 weeks and 5 days. So she sees that, so I'm like, sis, if you see that the babies are growing and they're healthy and they're growing ahead of time, then of course my body is trying to catch up to them, so of course I'm going to have stretch marks. What are you talking about? So she said that to me, and all my friends were just like completely shook. They said they would, you know, I should have told her off all this and that. I don't got the energy for that, but she did play me, and she was trying to be mean. So I really, you know, I was happy that that the babies were doing fine, everything was fine. So then I had my follow-up appointment, which was this past Friday, and I went to a doctor who was like a guest doctor. So she was just like filling in for my doctor, and she was also rude. And I don't know if this is a doctor thing. I don't know if I have a sign on my face that says like be rude to me, or if I'm just overthinking it. I don't know. I mean, I know that a lot of people get the same situations, but I just feel like doctors need to work on their personalities, okay? So the doctor that I personally have, I love him. He's really nice. He explains everything. He is like solid, gives me all the juice, all the tea. He just was not in the office that day, so I had to go to someone else. So I go to this lady, and like we're sitting there, and she comes in and she's just like, you know, everything's fine, everything's fine. And of course she goes over like my anatomy scan. She goes over like all of the like genetic testing. So all of the genetic testing has been fine. Their hearts have been fine. All their organs are fine. No, like I don't have any high blood pressure. I don't have any gestational diabetes. I don't have any of that. So that's a really big blessing to me, because those are things that you worry about. You know, every test is like, is there something wrong? But sis was like, you know, the only thing I'm concerned about is your weight gain. And I was just like, okay. You know, I'm getting embarrassed because my husband's sitting behind me. You know, he's sitting behind me. And not that he really cares, but it's still like, sis, it's like if you're going to like a cash register, and like when they're trying to swipe your card and like your card declines. I don't know about you. My card at a point in my life has declined. So, you know, they, ma'am, your card declined. Lower your voice, like lower your voice, lower your voice. That's how I felt about this situation. So she was like, yeah, so your weight gain. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, sis, I'm doing really good, because I was throwing up the first 2 weeks, and I've only gained 5 pounds like since the last time I've been here, which was 5 weeks ago. So literally that's like well, that was 4 weeks ago. Okay, I gained 5 pounds in 4 weeks. So 1.5 pounds a week. Luckily, I already have done like my research on, I told you guys about the book that I read called What to Do When You're Expecting Twins, Multiple, or What to Expect with Twins, Multiples, Quadruplets, Triplets, all that. So they have a certain vitamin registry regimen in that book. They have diet regimen, and they also have like according to your weight, according to your BMI, before pregnancy, how much you should gain, how much pounds a week you should gain. So in that book, they're really good because a lot of doctors are just specialists in like one baby. So they're going to give you like the basic things that like what a doctor would give you for one baby. So the book, according to the book, I'm fine. Like I'm going like, and according to my actual doctor, who says that I should gain between 35 to 40 pounds this entire pregnancy, that's totally fine. But sis told me, guys, now listen to this. She told me that she's like, yeah, you've gained 21 pounds in 20 weeks. She's like, you've gained 21 pounds, and honestly, if I were you, I'd stop gaining now, because you know you're gonna have a risk of gestational diabetes, preeclampsia, and this and that, and because you already are having twins. So in an ideal world, I would just, you know, stop gaining a lot of weight. And I was like, but you know, my doctor said that I'm supposed to gain 1 pound a week. You know, and she really didn't like respond to that, but like it was just so rude to me, because I'm like, why are you, a guest doctor, giving me information that I did not receive from my actual doctor? And of course, like the book I'm reading, everywhere else that I've researched is saying 1 pound a week is fine. I've had people that had twins that gained 90 pounds in their pregnancy. So, sis, you know, so I'm like tearing up, welling up, because she's like going in and I'm like trying to explain, but I just knew she didn't know what she was talking about. Because it's actually impossible for a baby, I mean a woman that's carrying a baby, not to gain any more pounds when the baby's growing, sis. Like I have 2 babies inside of me. So I was just like, oh, okay, so what are your suggestions? You got to walk 30 minutes for 5 days. You need to walk 30 minutes for 5 days. And I was like, so 5 days a week I need to be walking 30 minutes. I was like, okay, so I've been having really bad back pain. Do you do back stretches? YouTube it. She's telling me to YouTube back stretches. I was like, okay, that's cool. Walk for 30 minutes a day for 5 days, and I really think that's impossible the way I be feeling. But you know what? I'm going to try to up my walking to 3 to 4 times a week. How about that? And Lord knows my back is going to be dying, but I'm going to do it. So anyways, like that whole conversation, I was just like, you know, discouraged a little bit. But when I left, I like reread what the doctor told me in my last visit. So he told me 35 to 40 pounds. I'm going with him because he's more experienced with twins because he's been doing this since the 80s. So I'm going with what he said, and then of course what my book said, which is like the reason why they want you to gain a pound a week up until about 24 weeks, and then after that you don't really gain a lot more weight because you do gain probably like half a pound or so. But the thing is that you have 2 babies that are basically taking up all the space in your stomach, so your stomach can't even expand anymore. So that's why the benefit is to like gain your weight the first 24 weeks, and then that weight affects like the birth rate of the baby. But women that don't gain a lot of weight in the first 24 weeks or don't gain, you know, like average weight, typically that causes like preterm labor and stuff like that. So I was like, sis, I ain't listening to you. I'm glad you weren't my doctor, and you don't ever need to talk to anybody again like me because it was just really mean. I mean, I don't know if you guys have experienced that, but I feel like I'm all over the place with telling you guys that story, but that's fresh in my mind. Luckily, my husband, when we left, he was just like, he's like, babe, like, you know, try not to worry. Like, I would just throw away everything that she said besides 3 things. Okay, we can eat a little bit more greens at the house. You can work out a little bit more, and you can start stretching. Those are the only things I will take from her. The other stuff, I know what your doctor said. Like, we know what he said last time. So, scratch that, you know. And then I talked to another one of my friends who's like a nurse, and she was just like, sis, like, she was like, that doctor is just really slow. And she was like, and I'm sorry to say, like, I've been around a lot of doctors that don't know what they're talking about, and I wouldn't trust them with my dog, to watch my dog. So it's pretty sad, but if you're in my shoes, you know, always get a second opinion, always research, always find out, like, go deeper. If they're telling you something that, like, you know, makes you feel bad, that you know, okay, I don't have high blood pressure right now, I don't have gestational diabetes, like, I'm fine, the babies are actually ahead of schedule, you know, like, do research, you know, find other opinions, find other doctors, things like that, because that kind of stuff could have really, like, if I had an eating disorder or something, I'm like, you know, not eating for the rest of my pregnancy based on what she said, that could harm my babies. So I'm glad that I'm like a researcher, that I know, you know, I've already talked to another doctor. I have friends that are, you know, like educated in this, and, you know, books, encyclopedias, whatever. So I feel good about that. But, you know, those are my experiences up into 20 weeks. I'm glad I don't have much to tell you guys. That's a good sign. Typically, I mean, I did tell you a lot because I just talk so much. But, you know, like, I don't have any, like, major symptoms right now besides the back pain. Of course, breast changes, all that. I told you guys about that in the last video. But nothing really new. Besides the fact that the babies are very healthy and they are moving according to plan. Right now, I'm just like super happy. I got so much energy, so I'm cooking meals that I do have cravings. I'm cooking meals that I like, you know, want to cook. Like last night I cooked fried chicken, macaroni and cheese, greens. I shouldn't have ate that. Don't let that doctor see this video. But, you know, like, I'm able to cook things. I'm able to, like, do a lot more. I'm planning my baby shower. I'm planning my maternity shoot all for, like, October. And so, yeah, in the meantime, I think I'll update you guys again at week 24. But I'll still be posting videos throughout these next coming weeks. I'm going to get my husband to do, like, a video. I have other videos in mind. Of course, the registry video, if you guys want to see that, comment down below. Also, leave me suggestions. I'm also going to upload the video about boy names, so that will be up before my next, like, doctor's appointment update. I do have an appointment next week, I believe, for, they're going to do, like, a in-depth, I'm going to be meeting with a specialist, and she's going to be looking at their hearts, like, in-depth. So So yeah, other than that, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And I think I'm going to show you a bump date right now. So yeah, subscribe, all of that, and I'll talk to you guys in my next video.